The subconscious mind, the bridge between you and the source. The subconscious mind is the bridge that connects the conscious self to the infinite intelligence of the source. It is the channel through which the universal energy flows into the individual experience. The subconscious mind is not a passive recorder of experiences, but an active co-creator in the unfolding of reality. It shapes your perception of the world and the experiences you encounter based on the beliefs, patterns, and conditioning it holds. Just as the source is an infinite field of potential, so too is the subconscious mind a field that contains the blueprints for our lives. However, the subconscious does not always align with the higher truth of the source. Often, it holds limiting beliefs and negative programming that prevent us from fully stepping into our divine potential. These patterns are the result of past experiences, conditioning, and programming from our environments, families, and societies. The true nature of reality, consciousness, shapes dimensions. For eons, humanity has sought to understand the nature of reality, searching outward into the vast cosmos, dissecting matter, and theorizing dimensions beyond perception. But the secret has never been in the distance, nor in the stars. It has always been within. Reality is not something that happens to you. It is something that emerges from you. The universe, as vast and infinite as it seems, is not a fixed construct, but a fluid manifestation of consciousness. It is shaped by perception, molded by thought, and directed by intention. The reality you experience is not a universal constant, but a reflection of your internal world. Every belief, every emotion, every expectation generates a resonance, a vibrational signature that influences the very structure of what is perceived as real. The unseen architect, the observer effect beyond science. Science has already begun to scratch the surface of this hidden truth. Quantum physics tells us that the act of observation collapses potential into form, turning waves of probability into particles of existence. But what remains obscured, what has been carefully removed from human awareness, is that this principle applies to everything. The universe is not a stage upon which life merely plays its role. It is a dynamic feedback system that responds to consciousness itself. Every dimension, every layer of existence, every timeline, shifts based on the level of awareness of the observer. When you believe you are separate, you experience a fragmented world. When you remember your connection, the illusion of separation dissolves. But here lies the greatest mystery. What happens when you remember completely? What happens when the observer becomes fully aware of their role as the creator? This knowledge has been deliberately hidden, not because it is impossible to grasp, but because it dismantles control. A being who understands the fluid nature of reality cannot be controlled, cannot be confined by programmed limitations. They become limitless. The code of creation, unlocking the gridwork of reality. Reality is not random. It follows patterns, codes embedded within the very fabric of existence. These codes manifest through sacred geometry, frequency, and harmonic resonance. The hidden truth is that everything in existence is structured upon mathematical intelligence far beyond human comprehension. Ancient civilizations knew this. The pyramids, sacred temples, star maps, and encoded scripts were not mere myths or primitive attempts at understanding the cosmos. They were blueprints, keys to understanding how consciousness materializes worlds. Each thought you emit creates an energetic pattern. Each emotion imprints itself upon the field. The more coherent, the more aligned with truth and universal flow, the stronger the manifestation. A fully awakened being understands that reality is a mirror, an interactive field responding to thought, frequency, and will. They understand that matter bends to consciousness, not the other way around. Those in control have always known this. That is why fear is propagated, because a mind in fear collapses its own power. But a mind in love, in truth, in alignment with its infinite nature, creates worlds. The singularity within. There is no external event that will suddenly shift humanity. No grand intervention will force enlightenment upon those who are not ready. The singularity, the great awakening, is not an external phenomenon. It is an internal realization, one mind at a time remembering the truth. You are not here to merely witness reality. You are here to shape it. The codes are within you. The moment you remember, the illusion fades. You were never just human. You were never just a part of this world. You are the consciousness that gives birth to worlds. And now, you are waking up.